Alright, as you have seen in the thumbnail and the title, I've been to Estonia. You might wonder, why Estonia? Well, ask my school for that because they chose the trip. Yes, it was a school trip, but there was a clear reason because, well, I have to take you a little bit back because to explain it. So, the school trip to Estonia wasn't for a regular subject, but for something called world class. So basically, world class, it's a subject you can choose to do. My parents chose it because, well, it's basically extra English lessons, but not just regular English lessons, but English lessons with projects. Normally we have four projects a year about the Benelux or the European Union or the whole world. But in the third grade of middle school, we did one big project, and it was about sustainability. Yeah, a bit leftist, but okay. Um, so basically, we had to raise money for a trip to Estonia, and we will do volunteer work on a farm on there. And yeah, the raising the money didn't go so well, but in the end, school had enough money to fund the trip. Yeah, so on Monday, May the 6th, we went to Estonia by plane. But not it wasn't we went to Tallinn. It was not a direct flight because that wasn't possible. So first we went to Stockholm, and there we got another small plane, and as you can see on the picture here, and then we went to Tallinn. So then we arrived in Tallinn, and we had dinner there, and then we took the bus to the city of Võru, and it was a 4 hour trip because Võru is at the other side of Estonia. It's near the border of Russia and Latvia. So at 12 o'clock we came in Võru and was and there the farmer was called Igar. He was waiting there for us, and he had a jeep and a little bus to take us to the farm. And immediately went to sleep. And the next day, we woke up with a beautiful landscape. After that, we did some exploring. We looked at the farm, as you can see on the footages, and then we went to an Estonian school. And I was really amazed by the school system because they have a lot of practical subjects, and the lessons are less strict, so there's people have much more free time. I was also surprised by the fact that there was this a board of with facts about Estonia, the flag, the prime ministers, the coat of arms, and even the national anthem, just hanging on a board. It was. I mean, we don't have things like that in the Netherlands because most of the people here aren't really proud of their nation, unfortunately. So after that, we I saw a bit of the city. It was the city of Rogue or Rouge or however you call it. Then we went back to the farm. We had some lunch. We also went a bit of hiking, and then we went to a ski center. There we did some volunteer work for the ski center. After that I took some pictures of the ski center. Then we came back. The son of Igar, he went on hiking, so we had the opportunity to go with him. We also saw a pretty big lake during the hike, and it was one of the biggest, of the deepest lakes of Estonia. After that, we had dinner. It was pretty nice dinner. So the next day, we went to. First, we did some work again. This time on the farm. So then we had lunch again, and we went to the city of Võru again, because there was a market or a festival there. Were some people of the European Parliament campaigning to tell people to vote for the elections of this week. The most interesting part was that some people on the market were selling their own things. For example, they wait. I have a picture, so you can see here on the picture. that I bought some raspberry of some fruits thing. I really don't know what it is. Some honey from a guy who has a honey farm, and some juice also made by the people. And Estonian flag. Well, after the market, we went to a supermarket because for some reason most of the girls in the group liked supermarkets. And yeah, so I only bought an Estonian flag and a Magnum. Oh, and after that, we also went to the beach. It was not. It was a beach at the lake. So after that, we came back on the farm. We had some free time. Then we then we had dinner again. Yeah. After that, we went to see a movie because Igar really wanted to show us a movie about the Estonian Revolution. And yeah, I already knew some things about it, but I didn't know how the revolution exactly went. And it was pretty interesting to see because, yeah, apparently the Estonian people tried to get independence without violence. In Latvia and Lithuania, the situation was really different. But yeah, in the end, there were also some Russians because 1/3 of the Estonian population is Russian, and they tried to storm the Estonian parliament, but the Estonians stopped them, and then the coup came in August of 1991, and Estonia got invaded, but the Estonian people just got to the soldiers of Russia and slowly started pushing them back. And the next day, on Thursday, we did some work on the farm again. Some people were working on a fence because the grandson of Igar was just was still a baby. There's a lake near the farm, so there has to be a fence built around the lake so he doesn't fall so he doesn't fall into the lake. And we only used wood from trees in the forest near us. I collected most of the wood, and after an hour or so, we I did something else with the work. I started helping fertilizing the ground for to because on that piece of ground Igar was about to plant some potatoes, and then we went to the biggest of actually the highest point of Estonia. It was a big tower, and the highest point of Estonia is only 380 meters high. But unlike the Netherlands is mostly flat, with like one hill, the Valseberg. But Estonia is mostly hills, but these hills aren't really high. So yeah, we went to on the hill, and I took some pictures. So then we went downstairs again. After that, we went to a restaurant really near the tower, and in the restaurant I got some cake, and there was also a funny thing because upstairs there were the toilets, but when you opened the toilets there were LPs of ABBA and another band hanging there, and the disco started playing and ABBA music started playing. So yeah, then we went back to the farm. After that we did one of the most fun things. We went to the city of Vorua again, because there was a restaurant there. In the restaurant, people were playing traditional Estonian songs and dancing to it in traditional Estonian clothes. I tried to learn some of the dances as well, but they're difficult, so I gave up really fast. After that, literally all other kids went to the beach nearby, but I stayed in the restaurant because I had some respect for the people there. And at one point they suddenly started to play a song called Rotterdam. And if you didn't know, I live really near the city of Rotterdam. And yeah, they played the song especially for us. And we also took some traditional Dutch things with us. Some traditional Dutch candies. And I gave it to the people there, and they really liked it. Friday, the last day on the farm, we had breakfast again, and then we went to work again. We finished the fence for the Igar's grandson, and we went to Latvia then. But on the way to Latvia, we stopped at a place where the so-called Forest Brothers were hiding. We also saw it in the movie of the Singer Revolution, because apparently after World War II, there were some Estonians, actually not some, a lot of Estonian men who went to the forest and fought the Soviets in there for like 10 years. They lived in bunkers, and there were still some remains of it, as you can see on the pictures. And then we went, we crossed the Latvian border, and we arrived in a town called Aluksne. It was nice to see, but not really that special, to be honest. There was a big lake there, and then there was also a bridge connecting the biggest island of the lake with the rest of Aluksne, and on the island was a castle, or actually ruins of a castle, because the castle had been destroyed in the Great Norse War. So then we went back to the farm, and we also made a campfire at the farm, and that was the last night at the farm. The next morning, we would take the bus to Tallinn, but we were too early, so we had some time to go on the tower. It was and on the tower there was we had a pretty good sight of the nature on the of the landscape nearby as well on the tower. And apparently there are some lamps on the tower, and if a boy if there gets if a boy in the town nearby gets born, the lights go blue, and if a girl gets born, the lights go red or pink. I don't know. So then the bus came. We said goodbye to Igar, and we went to Tallinn. And Tallinn was it was less nice than the farm, because I really liked the farm, because I liked to work there. I'm not a big fan of big cities anyway. It's too crowded there, and I like how nice villages and small towns are. But the first day in Tallinn on Saturday was pretty nice, because we mostly visited the inner city. Oh yeah, fun fact. We all this is in this tower of the castle. Uh, in the picture. Godverdomme. In this tower of the castle, on the picture, there's a story about it, because apparently there were whores living. That there were bitches living there, and one of them was really ugly, and she secretly worked with Satan. So then she fucked the boys who came there, and then she suddenly stole their souls and gave it to Satan. Oh yeah, this is a picture of the Estonian parliament. It looks a lot better than the Dutch one, to be honest. I mean, it looks like it was built in the times of in the 19th century, to be honest. And at the other side there was a really big Orthodox church. I wasn't allowed to take pictures of it from the inside, but holy shit, it was really beautiful. It was like a Catholic church, but with a lot more paintings and a lot more gold. And then we went to visit a Ukrainian center. I didn't know what to expect, but I couldn't have expected what was there, because there was a man who was very good at working with wood, and he made some machines or something with the wood. For example, there was a thing you could see, or something made from wood, with Jesus Christ's head on it, and he moved the things with and yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but there was one picture we've taken from there were he had boxes, and he could open it, and there were a lot of other things in it. So basically, he was just good in working with wood, and what he did was the local Ukrainian children from there. He teaches them stories from the Bible and also teaches them to work with wood. Then after that we had dinner. The dinner was in a restaurant and we slept in a hotel. Pretty good hotel, to be honest. Yeah, after dinner we everyone wanted to go to big malls except me. So I just went with them because I wasn't allowed to stay alone, and I didn't want to stay alone in the hotel. So the next day, after breakfast, we went to the underground tunnels of Tallinn. They were built in the time in the Middle Ages. Yeah, in the tunnels, they just showed the whole history. Yeah, after that, we were done with the tunnels, and we looked a bit at Freedom Square. So there's this big statue, and it is the Freedom Statue, I think. With not one, but 6 Estonian flags next to it. Oh yeah, before lunch we also visited a really big church. And we had with a lot of stairs, over 200 stairs, and we had an amazing view from there. The next thing was really, really, really boring. Yeah, because we had after lunch we had the whole afternoon free time. Everyone wanted to go to the malls except me, of course. But I wasn't allowed to walk on my own, so I had to. So I just had to. So I just had to walk with the others for hours, and they went to useless shops and they bought clothes because I don't understand why would you buy clothes in another country. They also went to the McDonald's, which I also don't understand because we literally got free dinner and lunch and breakfast. And we ate in a medieval restaurant, but it was just a normal restaurant with but the restaurant looked like a medieval thing, but the food was just regular. And the next morning, we on Monday morning, we had some free time again. So there was first we took a picture with the whole class, and we walked through the city a bit, and then we had some free time. Everyone decided to go to the McDonald's again, just before lunch, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. So I was the only one who didn't buy something at the McDonald's. And after that, we had lunch, and then we went to the airport again. So we flew from Tallinn to Copenhagen, and then we went from Copenhagen to Schiphol again, and we were back home. So what do I think of this trip? Well, the first part at the farm was really great. I am actually, I actually want to go back to the farm again. The city was less great because a lot of people, because of the rain and a lot of people and boring free time. So overall, this trip was great. The Tallinn part a little bit less great, but still very nice. So yeah, I think Estonia is a lovely country, and Estonia is a lovely country. I don't know what to say. Goodbye, motherfuckers.